Hello, I'm back. Just another short video as a kind of bonus because I missed a week. I'm going to do a little bit of a short assumptions video because despite the fact that I'm here talking to you about writing and books, obviously you know who I am and you can see my books and you can find me on the internet, there's a lot of assumptions people make about me and I thought I'd go through a couple of them because they were quite interesting. So the first one was to do with my height. People think I'm kind of average height. Obviously I'm sat down. You have no idea. I'm actually 6'5", and there seems to be a trend of tall British fantasy authors. There's myself at 6'5", there's Justin Lee Anderson, who I've interviewed previously. He's about 6'3", I would say. And then there's the mighty Dave Ragg, who is 6'7", and Dave is a monster. Lovely guy. I've also interviewed him, so go and check that out on the channel. And last September, the three of us were at FantasyCon together, walking around, and we all pretty much felt like Gulliver. It was really funny, because everybody's tiny compared to us. So yeah, I'm a little above average height. The next assumption that somebody made was that my books don't include swear words. Well, if you've read the first page of The Coward, you'll know that that's not true. And in fact, all of my books have a lot of swearing in them. And once I was approached by a woman at a bookshop when I was doing a signing, and she said, "Could my son read this book?" And I said, "How old is he?" And she said, "He's 12. And I said, "No, absolutely not." She said, "Oh, he's very mature for a 12-year-old. And I said, "Read the first couple of chapters and decide for yourself." So she bought a copy, went away, read it, and emailed me later on and said, "Oh, thank you for advising me against giving it to my son. I think I'll have to wait a few years." And yeah, you really have to do. My books are full of violence, swearing, adult content. Not for under 16s, even under 18s, I would say. Another assumption that someone made is that I love tea like Americans love coffee. That's not true, actually. I love coffee more. As an Englishman, as a Brit, yes, I do drink tea. However, I'm really picky on the kind of tea that I like, and I prefer coffee. If I could only choose one, tea or coffee, I'd stick with coffee. I know, I'm going against the British stereotype, but there you go. I only actually drink Earl Grey. Normal, builder's tea, everyday tea. I find it a bit bland and a bit rank, to be honest. So, yeah, coffee first, not tea. The other assumption is that cats are okay, but I'm actually a dog person. This is also not true. I actually have 2 cats. You may have seen one feature in a video. Every now and then, the tail goes by. I do love cats. I mean, I love dogs and most animals anyway. The next assumption was that I prefer the company of animals to people. Yeah, that's true. Most of the time, I would say that. Animals, I just prefer them. They're great. People are a challenge. They can be really challenging, yeah. The next assumption was my favourite Doctor is Peter Davison. This is, of course, Doctor Who. That isn't true, actually. I've been watching Doctor Who since all the way back to Tom Baker. And I think my favourite Doctor is actually David Tennant. He just came back at the right time, and I know he wasn't the first new Doctor, it was Chris Eccleston, but there's something about Tennant's performance for me that really I just really got back into watching Doctor Who, and I loved it, and he's still my favourite today. The next assumption is that I enjoy cricket. Well, as an Englishman, I don't. I find it really boring. I've tried to watch it, I've played it in school, playing it's okay, but I prefer rounders, which I guess, is closest to baseball, but it's not baseball if you're American. But cricket, I can't do it. I find it just so dull. And equally football, if you're American, soccer. I'll watch the World Cup, but apart from that, I just don't follow it. And it's one of these things that as a man, people, and especially an Englishman, whenever you meet other guys you don't really know, one of the first things you want to talk about is football or rugby. I'd prefer to go and watch a rugby match than a football match. I don't follow any football team. I just don't really like it. I don't follow it. I can't get into it. It's never been a big part of my life, which is kind of atypical, I guess. The last assumption was that I secretly like it when people say that I sound like Neil Gaiman. No, that's not true. I don't think I sound like Neil Gaiman. I can do a reasonable Neil Gaiman impression because of the way he talks, but we don't sound anything alike. Go and watch one of his videos and then come back and watch one of mine and you'll see that we're completely different people. Totally different. Don't sound anything like each other at all. Right, that's it for today. Just a short little assumption video, a bit of fun, a bit of bonus, but I'll be back soon with another video.